Hello there. My name is Monica Burns, and welcome to today's episode of the Easy EdTech podcast. It is 2024, and whether you're joining for the first time, 100th time, or for the 200th time, I am so glad you're here. I have lots of exciting things in store for you this year. Each episode of the Easy EdTech podcast is designed to give you ideas you can try yourself, share with a colleague, or bookmark for later in the school year. Get ready for stories from my time in the classroom, the work I do now with schools and districts, and my travels to different EdTech events, as well as practical ideas and inspiring stories from new guests each month. If we mention something you'd like to check out, you'll find the link to it in the show notes. So don't forget to head to my website, classtechtips.com/podcast, for all of the show notes and resources from today's episode. This episode is sponsored by my new mini course, Learn ChatGPT This Summer, which is now available to all members of my AI and Education membership. Join today and stay for 1 month, the whole school year, or however long you like. You'll get instant access to my mini course, Learn ChatGPT This Summer, with 6 short videos. It's built into my AI and Education membership, so you'll get all the member perks too, like a new video update each month and plenty more to explore. Go to my website, classtechtips.com/AI, to find the link to the membership. That's classtechtips.com/AI for all of the details. This week's episode is titled, Why Summer is the Perfect Time to Learn About AI. And if you're listening to this episode when it goes live at the end of June, you might be well into your summer break. Maybe school finished for you a couple weeks ago, or maybe you're listening to this and school is just finishing up. Or if you're in an all-year role, this might be just one of those times of year that feels like a natural reset. So I thought it would be fun today to talk about some of the reasons why you might want to take a pause and think a bit more about AI this time of year. So we're going to go into a handful of reasons why this is a great time of year to learn about AI, jumping in for the first time or jumping in a little bit more deeply. I've spent time with educators in all corners of the country this year, and some more travel coming up over the next few weeks. If you're in Denver when you're listening to this, I'm at ISTE, the ISTE conference this week. If you are in Washington State, I'll be in Washington State, I'll be in Georgia, I'll be in New York, and 3 different spots, I think, in New York in the month of July. So as I've been moving around this spring into summer, I've listened to a lot of educators who are curious about artificial intelligence, but just need a minute, right? Just need some time to think about what this means for them. So we're going to look at some reasons why this is a good time of year if you've been meaning to jump into AI, how you can look at it from both a fun and a practical standpoint, holding on to both of those things this summer. So let's jump into the list of some reasons why this is a great time of year to learn about AI. First up is this time of year, this season is a great time to experiment with some fun personal projects, things that you might not do during the school year. You can try out AI tools to help you with some tasks that are more personal, lighthearted, and fun. So you might open up a chatbot like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and you might use it to write an invitation to a summer event. So this is a great way to play around in a low stakes, kind of silly way. So you might try a prompt like, create a funny invitation to a summer barbecue with a tropical theme. Now, of course, you could fill in the blanks and that chatbot's not going to give you something perfect, but maybe it'll get you 75% of the way there to create a funny invitation for a summer event. So the first reason why summer's a great time to learn about AI is you can play around with some fun personal projects. Maybe it's writing a silly invitation to a barbecue. Next up is you can play by planning some local day trips. If you've thought about different use cases for AI, or you've been trying to wrap your head around something meaningful in your own life, you might find that this summer you want to do a day trip, something local. And you can use a chatbot to help you gather ideas or to help make an itinerary for a spot you've already decided you want to visit. You could also ask it to help out with a packing list. I'm going on an Alaskan cruise next week. I've actually never been on a cruise before. And I went straight to chatbot and I said to ChatGPT in particular, give me ideas of what to pack for this cruise. Even though I've been in some of the Facebook groups and asked around a bit, I thought it would be a good place to gather some ideas, and I'll try my best to remember to report back on that one to see if it helped me out. So you could try something like a packing list for this number 2 on our list, or you could stick with the bigger theme, like plan a local day trip. So you might plan a day trip to a nearby beach or campground, and you could ask it to include a list of must-visit spots and what to pack. So another reason why summer is a great time of year to learn about AI is you can play with some different use cases, like planning a local day trip. Number 3 on the list gets us a little more classroom focused, which is gather ideas for the upcoming school year. At this point of summer, you might have a good idea of what you're teaching or what your group of students might need, or there may be some things in flux, right? You might have a couple different ideas of where your placement might be, or you may even look for a new position. So what you can do is gather some ideas for the upcoming school year as broad or as specific as you want it to be. You can use an AI tool, maybe it's a chatbot like Gemini or ChatGPT, to brainstorm classroom activities or lesson plan ideas. So here's a prompt to try. Suggest engaging science activities for a 7th grade classroom. Now that's pretty broad, right? You might get a little more specific. You might put in the exact topic you kick off the school year with. Maybe it's not science, maybe it's a social studies lesson. And 7th grade is helpful, but you might even give it some more information, like a bit of info on the unit of study, the standards, the expectations. But it's a great way to start getting your wheels spinning and playing with generative AI at the same time. Number 4 on our list is to start making connections to summer events and your fall teaching plans. So this summer, I don't know about you, but I am super duper pumped for the Olympics. I love my Peacock subscription. I feel like it's one of those underrated streaming services. If you haven't watched The Traitors, that's one of my favorite shows from this past year. I'm not a huge reality TV person, but enough that I loved that one. It was so much fun, but it's one of those underrated streaming services. And I'm super excited that I'll get access to the Olympics for all of that. Just pumped about what's one of my favorite things. And so this summer, right, there might be other events that you're excited about too. And you want to make connections to your fall teaching plans. So you might try a prompt like, how can I use the Summer Olympics to teach about the rock cycle to 4th graders in a fun way? And so you can connect to any summer activity, right? Something that might be kind of current eventsy, like the Summer Olympics. Doesn't have to mean that you're using the chatbot to make connections to favorite athletes, right? As much as just the sports and the energy around that event that might go into the beginning of the school year. The 5th reason on our list of why I think summer is just the perfect time to learn about AI is that you can learn at your own pace. In the school year, even with our best of intentions, it can be really hard to sneak in self-paced PD. But during the summertime, you may have a type of schedule where you can, fit in 10 minutes to watch a quick video or, 20 minutes to play around on your own and apply some of the things that you've learned. So you can dedicate a few minutes each day to try a new AI prompt or a new tool. And if you're a member of my AI in Education membership, I share lots of updates. I share tools and prompts. I've got this new mini course that we put in the middle of the summer that it would be live now whenever you're listening to this because it's going up in the middle of June. And so, I love self-paced PD. And so this might be a time of year where you decide, right, you're going to play around a bit more with an AI tool. So you might try one of the prompts that I've talked about already in this episode or past episodes and blog posts and just play, right? Get a feel for what's possible. Now, if you are or considering learning at your own pace or asynchronous PD, just because you're not given a schedule doesn't mean you can't make your own schedule. I know when I get an invitation to a webinar or when I get a recording or a replay to something I missed, I still try to make like a calendar appointment for myself, for an afternoon where I know I can dedicate time to watching that without being super distracted. So if you're learning at your own pace this summer, you might still want to put, a calendar invite or an appointment for yourself to carve out that time. The next reason on the list that summer's a great time to learn about AI is that you might have just a little bit more brain space to think about the best use cases. So you can, instead of being distracted